Look! There really is something there. Did you ever have a cat? What? I've never had a cat. There couldn't be such a large cat. Someone's under the bed. Call the police. Both of you, stay back, it's dangerous. With those words, Father approached the bed and called out to whoever was there. Hey! Who are you? Give yourself up. Someone slowly crawled out from under the bed. The sight left us speechless. I'm Nadine, 36 years old. My husband Carlos works at a small publishing company. We met in college. Though Carlos was 4 years older than me, he wasn't very reliable, but I, being the more responsible one, took the lead and we got married a few years later. Carlos was a domestic person and a good cook. I don't want to go to preschool. I want to stay with Mommy. Stop being so stubborn. Look, Elsa. Here's Daddy's special cheese omelet. This will cheer you up. Yay! An omelet. Thank you, Daddy. My husband always helps with our daughter's breakfast preparations, which is such a blessing. Today he made an omelet. I'm glad it improved our daughter's mood. I'm truly grateful to my husband. Even during our busy mornings, I don't get irritated thanks to him. He knows how to handle our daughter's moods, and since he helps with the housework, I can go to work with peace of mind. I'm really glad I married him. Our family life is even more wonderful than I had imagined. I thought these happy family times would continue forever. One weekend, we were getting ready to go to an amusement park. Our daughter was in high spirits, wearing her hair up and dressed as a princess. Daddy, look! Isn't it cute? It suits you, Elsa. You look just like a princess. I smiled at the scene while washing dishes. My husband came over to me and said, I need to get something from the pharmacy. What? We're going by car anyway, so couldn't we stop on the way? No, it has to be now. Really? Well, hurry back then. I felt something was off about my husband's behavior, but since we were in a hurry, I didn't think much of it and let him go. Looking back now, I wish I had stopped him, even forcefully. Outside the house, we heard the screech of sudden braking and a loud crash. I had a terrible feeling and wanted to run outside, but instinctively knew I shouldn't let my daughter out of the house. I ran to the entrance, hurriedly put on my shoes, and snatched the keys from atop the shoe cabinet. Elsa, stay here. Don't come outside. When I got outside, my husband, who had just left the house, was lying there bleeding. A woman dressed all in black quickly walked away, but I didn't pay much attention to her at the time. Carlos. Hang in there. Nadine. Are you his wife? I'm calling an ambulance right now. I'm so sorry. Someone seems to have pushed your husband. My mother-in-law and father-in-law also rushed out from next door. Oh no. Carlos. Carlos. Answer me. Where's that ambulance? My husband's face was deathly pale. My in-laws and I kept calling his name. Soon after, the ambulance arrived. Sir, can you hear me? His consciousness level is declining. We need to transport him immediately. Ma'am, please ride with us. I was in a panic but worried about leaving my daughter at home. Mother, Elsa is still in the house. Could you watch her? Of course. Leave it to me. Take care of Carlos. Yes. Please look after Elsa. Well then, I'll see you later. When the paramedic closed the door, the ambulance took off with its sirens blaring. My husband had an oxygen mask on but was still unconscious. I held his hand tightly. Carlos. Wake up. Please. Only the sound of the heart monitor echoed in the ambulance. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law was at home with my daughter. Your daddy got hurt outside, so he went to the hospital with Mommy. That's why you're staying with me. We were supposed to go to the amusement park today with Daddy and Mommy. Feeling sorry for Elsa in her princess costume, her grandmother hugged her spontaneously. You wanted to go to the amusement park, didn't you? Let's watch some cartoons at home today. Male, 40 years old, head trauma from a traffic accident. We need to perform a CT scan immediately to assess the extent of brain damage. Please save my husband. Please. Ma'am, please wait here. I sat down in the waiting room chair, but I couldn't stop trembling. In an instant, our peaceful daily life had turned dark. Are you family? The doctor would like to explain the situation, please come in. I was led in and stumbled into a chair. We've confirmed your husband's head injury with a CT scan. It's an acute subdural hematoma. The impact was severe, and he also has a brain contusion. We need to perform surgery to remove the hematoma. Do you consent? If there's any chance of saving my husband, please perform the surgery. I'm counting on you. We'll do our best. It was all I could do to cling to this thread of hope. I called my mother-in-law to update her. Hello, Mother. Nadine, Elsa is watching cartoons. How's Carlos? He has an acute subdural hematoma and brain contusion from hitting his head hard. They're about to perform surgery. I see. It sounds serious. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have let him go to the pharmacy. Nadine, this isn't your fault. Let's just focus on hoping the surgery goes well. Should I bring Elsa and come there? You left without your wallet, so you can't even buy anything to drink, right? Thank you. That would be helpful. Could you bring my bag? It's in the living room. Of course. I'll have my husband drive us. Which hospital are you at? Central Hospital. The operating room is on the 3rd floor, and I'm in the waiting room nearby. Looking at my husband's smiling face saved in my phone's photo gallery made my chest tighten. We were supposed to take lots of pictures at the amusement park today. About 30 minutes later, my in-laws arrived at the hospital with my daughter. Then, the operating room door opened. Are you the family? We did everything we could, but the damage was more severe than we thought. I'm sorry, but your husband has just passed away. No. I collapsed to the ground. My mother-in-law broke down crying, supported by my father-in-law. For the next 3 months, I was so busy arranging my husband's funeral and dealing with various official procedures that I barely had time to grieve his death. But trying to handle housework, childcare, and my job all by myself took its toll on my health. Sleeping on the living room sofa instead of the bedroom probably didn't help either. I avoided sleeping in the bedroom because the memories of my husband would overwhelm me with grief. One morning, after dropping my daughter off at preschool, I headed to the station for work but found myself unable to move from the platform bench. I called work and took some time off. I somehow managed to walk home and called my mother. "Oh, Nadine. What's wrong?" "I'm not feeling well, so I decided to take some time off work. I've been keeping busy to avoid thinking about Carlos and getting depressed, but I've reached my limit." I finally allowed myself to show weakness, and the tears wouldn't stop. "Nadine, you've been so strong. I'm worried about you. Should I come stay at your place? I'd like to see Elsa too." "Thanks. That would be helpful. I should come as soon as possible, right?" "It's sudden, but I'll come tomorrow." Knowing my parents were coming made me feel considerably better. That night, I slept soundly for the first time in a while. The next day dawned bright and clear. After taking my daughter to preschool, I returned home and decided to catch up on housework. Just as I was finishing up, I got a message from my mother saying they were almost there. Soon after, the doorbell rang. When I opened the front door, my parents were standing there. "Thank you for coming. You're our precious daughter. We bought a cake, so let's all eat it when Elsa gets back. I'll make some coffee, please make yourselves comfortable." I took their bags and showed them to the living room. Then I boiled water and made coffee. It must have been really hard. "Nadine, you look worn out. We're here now, so you can relax." I'm so grateful. These past 3 months, I haven't been able to rest much. Being with family again gave me a sense of peace. After taking a breather, I decided to show them around the house. It's spacious and comfortable. It feels too big with just Elsa and me, but it's perfect with you both here. Looking at my parents, I felt well enough to even make jokes. But next was the master bedroom, whose door I hadn't even opened in all this time. I nervously opened the bedroom door. I could faintly smell my husband, but the emotional impact wasn't as bad as I'd expected. This is the bedroom. I haven't been using it lately. It's a bit dusty from lack of ventilation. Yes. You can use that room over there. All right. Thank you. Did you hear something just now? Really? I don't think anyone's here. We quieted down to listen. Then we definitely heard a sound. Look. There really is something there. Nadine, did you ever have a cat? What? I've never had a cat. This is too big to be a cat. Someone's under the bed. Call the police. Both of you, stay back, it's dangerous. With those words, Father approached the bed and called out to whoever was there. Hey! Who are you? Give yourself up. Someone slowly crawled out from under the bed. The sight left us speechless. Who are you? I asked the unfamiliar woman who had emerged from under the bed. Oh, so you're Carlos's wife? The woman retorted with an insolent attitude. I had a bad feeling and pressed further. What was your relationship with my husband? Well, I guess you could say I was his girlfriend. No, that's called being the other woman. What? An uncomfortable tension began to build between the woman and me. "So what are you doing here?" "When I heard Carlos died, I thought I'd use the key I borrowed before to come in and collect some mementos. But then everyone came home." "When exactly did you enter the house?" "Let's see, around 8 a.m., I think. Right when I was taking Elsa to preschool. That's why I didn't notice. I wouldn't have come in if anyone was home. Whether someone was home or not, it's still breaking and entering." The woman had apparently been dating Carlos before he met me. They had planned to get married, but their shared gambling habit at casinos meant they couldn't save any money for the wedding, and they were at their wits' end. That's when Carlos met me. I, with my well-off family background, prestigious university education, and career aspirations as a businesswoman, had been targeted as a meal ticket by this irresponsible couple. Carlos had apparently told her he would leave me once they had saved enough money for their wedding. I had been completely fooled. The husband who helped with housework and childcare, our happy family life, it was all an illusion. Though stunned, I felt an urge to strike this woman. But one realization made me keep my cool. "Oh, so that's how it was. You two were in cahoots, stealing my accessories." I thought it was strange how my brand name accessories kept disappearing. "You were selling them for cash." How absurd. "No. Carlos did that on his own." "You said earlier you came to collect mementos. What did you mean by that?" "Well, I rushed to the dresser and opened the drawer. Then I checked under the bed where the woman had been hiding. I gathered everything I found there." "What is this? Why are my necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets under here? This isn't collecting mementos, it's theft. What choice did I have? My meal ticket died, so I have no money." "Then why don't you find another man?" Suddenly, I noticed the closet door in the bedroom was slightly ajar when it was usually closed. If she noticed that I had seen it, she might try to escape. I sent a silent signal with my eyes to my father, who was standing near the bedroom entrance. Sure enough, the woman tried to run but was caught by my father. "Don't try to run. So you really are a thief," I declared triumphantly as I walked toward the closet. When I opened the door, as I suspected, there were signs it had been ransacked. Designer bags and shoes were scattered about. "There's no excuse now. Dad, call the police. Please, anything but that. It's too late." My father and I surrounded the woman to prevent her escape. The sound of sirens grew closer. "I'll handle the police, you two stay there." My mother hurried toward the entrance. "Come to think of it, haven't I seen you before?" "I don't know what you're talking about." I asked the woman in the black sweatsuit, but she evaded the question. "I remember now. You were at the accident scene that day, weren't you? I saw you hurrying away as I came out. Did you push Carlos into the road?" "Well, since you figured it out. The night before, Carlos called me. He wanted to break things off. He said you and your daughter were important to him and that he didn't want me involved anymore. That made me angry, so I waited outside your house the next morning. I was about to leave when Carlos happened to come out and saw me. When he told me never to show my face again, I thought he might as well die, so I deliberately pushed him into the road, and he got hit by a car." "So it really was you." If only I had realized then. With that, I lunged at the woman. As she tried to push me away, I grabbed her throat and squeezed. How dare you do that to Carlos? A worthless woman like you should have died instead. Nadine. Stop it. My father pulled me away with all his strength. The woman was coughing, her face red. I had almost become just like her. Within 10 minutes, a police car arrived. The doorbell rang, and we could hear my mother and the police officers coming up the stairs. The bedroom door opened. This is the police. So this woman broke in and tried to steal your accessories. Yes, that's right. She was my late husband's mistress, and she used a key she stole from him to get in. Also, my husband was killed by this woman. Though my blood pressure was rising and my head was spinning with anger, I spoke calmly. Excuse me. Could you repeat that? Fine. I pushed her husband into the road because I wanted him dead. All this time I thought it was an accident. Give Carlos back. So you're saying you intended to kill him? Yes. I wanted him dead. Then this would be classified as murder, and we'll need to investigate that as well. Do whatever you want. I don't care about anything anymore. Wait a minute. I feel like I've seen this woman before. Ah. It's Pamela. Ma'am, she's a repeat offender. She seduces married men, steals their keys, and then brazenly breaks in to rob their homes. I never thought she'd commit murder too. This time you'll be serving quite a long sentence. Officer, won't you miss me when you can't see me anymore? Just then, we heard the front door open and close. Someone rushed up the stairs, taking them two at a time. Wait. Please let her go. My in-laws burst into the bedroom, out of breath. Father, Mother. What's wrong? There must be some misunderstanding. Pamela isn't bad. She can't be a thief, there must be some mistake. Pamela isn't that kind of person. As it turned out, my in-laws knew this woman and were aware that Carlos was using me for money. In fact, my in-laws had encouraged him to use me as a meal ticket. They had always spoiled Carlos. Also, since the woman had no family, they had treated her like a parent would, and she had opened up to them, becoming like family. Thank you both for defending me. But it's true that I'm a thief, and I'm sorry I kept it secret, but I really did kill Carlos. When he found out I was targeting other men and stealing from them, he broke up with me, and I lost control. I became desperate. No. Pamela killed Carlos. The woman began to cry. After being abused and abandoned by my parents, you and Carlos were so kind to me, and I was truly happy. Even so, I could only believe in money, and I only found peace by taking money from Carlos and stealing his wife's brand name items. I really wanted to stop being a thief and live a normal life. I had even started looking for a job. But instead, I ended up not just stealing but taking a life. I must have been crazy. I'm so sorry to Carlos's parents and his wife. Being defended by my in-laws seemed to have touched something in the woman, and she finally showed remorse. I can never forgive you for killing Carlos or for deceiving me, but if what you just said is sincere, then you still have a chance to rehabilitate yourself. Don't give up. Make amends for your crimes and become a better person. For Carlos's sake too. Well, shall we go then? You're under arrest for breaking and entering and attempted theft. We'll also need to talk about the murder at the station. The woman was handcuffed and led away with her head down. My in-laws, still in shock, went home. Dad, Mom, I'm sorry you got caught up in all this when you came to visit. Both my parents said nothing and just embraced me. Later, the woman was indicted. Being a repeat offender, her sentence would be enhanced. Also, security camera footage from the area confirmed her role in my husband's murder, leading to an additional murder charge. She would likely spend many years in prison. I hope she can face herself and truly regret her past actions. For my husband's death not to be in vain. Learning that my husband had been unfaithful and using me, and that what I thought was an accident was actually murder, I don't know how to process these feelings, and I probably never will. But if I keep focusing on the past, what will happen to my daughter? I don't want to lose anything more. So I must live in the present. From now on, I'll devote myself to protecting my daughter. For our bright future together, I must live this moment with all my might. First, I'll look for a less demanding job while relying on my supportive parents. But before anything else, we need to eat. I'm hungry. Let's go get lunch. Good idea. You seem surprisingly energetic.